وقل رب زدني علما.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أما بعد. It's the lesson from the kitab Buloogh Al-Maraam للحافظ ابن حجر الأسقلاني رحمه الله تعالى. باب 17 باب الوقف, chapter 17, Al-Waqf, the Endowment. حديث 785 عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: إذا مات الإنسان انقطع عنه عمله إلا من ثلاثة: صدقة جارية أو علم ينتفع به أو ولد صالح يدعو له. رواه مسلم. Narrated Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, Allah His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a son of Adam, it is any human being, dies, his deeds are discontinued, with three exceptions. When a son of Adam dies, his deeds are discontinued, with three exceptions. Sadaqah, whose benefit is continuous. Charity, whose benefit is continuous. Or knowledge from which benefit continues to be reaped. And knowledge which benefit continuous. Which it is benefit continuous and to be reaped, to be continuous to be reaped. Or a righteous child who supplicates for him. One is means for the parent. Rawahu Muslim, collected by Imam Muslim in his Sahih. In this hadith, the Messenger Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam mentioned that one his deeds stops by his death, except if he left behind a continuous charity. He gave a charity, but that charity, its benefit doesn't stop at his death. Rather, it continues. Like he built a masjid for Allah, or he did a well, or he made a highway for the people, and the like. He made endowment, a garden or a farm to the poor people or to the orphans. So, even though the person died, but his sadaqah, his charity is being benefit, as long it remains continuous and people benefit from it, the reward of that continuous charity is continuous for that person who is deceased. Also, or he left the knowledge from which people benefit, and its benefit is continuous. He authored a book like Ibn Hajar rahimahullah ta'ala here, or he taught people a knowledge, and that knowledge still is being benefit, like Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu here. And before that, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, a beneficial knowledge. Or a righteous child who supplicates for him. A righteous child, whether it's the first child, first son or daughter, or their children, the grandchildren, and name it, who is righteous, who make dua for that person. So you make dua for your mother, for your father, for your grandfather, grandmother, ancestors, those who die from the Muslims. And you are a righteous child, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make their deeds continuous by your dua. They benefit from your dua. As we mentioned before, Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah is from those who see that even if the child doesn't intend the good deeds for his parents, still they get the reward. Because of the hadith, إن أطيب ما أكلتم من كسبكم وإن ولدكم من كسبكم. The best you consume, you eat, is from your earnings, what you earn, not what you are given as a charity, or is what you earn. And your children are from what you earn. So these things are the most important things after one's death in order to have a continuous reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next hadith, so that hadith shows the endowment, it shows the waqf. It's like this person, he make endowment, he make waqf for his child, he make for that continuous charity, for the knowledge he taught, is a waqf for him, is endowment for him. Next hadith 786. وعن ابن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنهما قال أصاب عمر رضي الله تعالى عنه أرضا بخيبر فأتى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يستأمره فيها وقال يا رسول الله إني أصبت أرضا بخيبر لم أصب مالا قط هو أنفس عندي منه قال إن شئت حبست أصلها وتصدقت بها قال إن شئت حبست أصلها وتصدقت بها قال فتصدق بها عمر رضي الله تعالى عنه أنه لا يباع أصلها ولا يورث ولا يوهب فتصدق بها في الفقراء وفي القربى وفي الرقاب وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل والضيف لا جناح على من وليها أن يأكل منها بالمعروف ويطعم صديقا غير متمول مالا متفق عليه واللفظ لمسلم. Narrated Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, Umar radiallahu anhu got some land in Khaybar and went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asking his command regarding it, and said, "O Allah's Messenger, I have acquired a land in Khaybar, which is the most valuable property that I ever have acquired. He replied, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you wish, you may make the property an endowment. If you wish, you may make the property, it means that land, an endowment as waqf, and give its produce as sadaqah. And give its produce, means what comes out of that land, as a sadaqah. So Umar radiallahu anhu gave the land as sadaqah, as endowment, on the condition that must not be sold or inherited or given away. And he gave its produce as sadaqah to be devoted to the poor relatives, the emancipation of slaves, means the slaves, in Allah's cause, for travelers and guests. And there is no sin upon the one who administers it if he eats something from it in a reasonable manner, or gives something to a friend to eat, provided he doesn't store anything as goodies, means for himself. Agree upon the wording is for Imam Muslim. وفي رواية البخاري تصدق بأصلها لا يباع ولا يوهب ولكن ينفق ثمره. Narration by Al-Bukhari, he gave the land in sadaqah as an endowment that must not be sold or gifted, but its produce must be spent as sadaqah. In this hadith, Umar radiallahu anhu, when Allah gave him that land in Khaybar, which was very dear to him, he consulted with the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam what to do with it. And he mentioned that it is most valuable property he ever had in his life. Therefore, he asked the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam an advice how he should use it. What is the best way to use, to benefit from that valuable property? He, alayhi salatu wasalam, advised him that if he wants, he can make the property as an endowment and give its produce as sadaqah. So as the land make it waqf, make endowment. If you wish, you may make the property an endowment and give its produce as sadaqah. So this land, make it waqf. Make it waqf where it is benefit, it is produce, what comes out of it is being used. But as it can't be sold, can't be given to anybody. So the origin, the capital, the land itself will not be sold, will not be given as sadaqah, will not be given as gift, none. It remains as it is. But what comes out of it, of fruits, of dates and the like, sadaqah fi sabilillah. Umar radiallahu anhu, he accepted the advice of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and he made the property, that land, as a sadaqah, an endowment, with a condition. Radiallahu anhu, he said, لا يباع أصلها, that it can't be sold. It can't be sold. No one has a right to sell it. It remained belonging to Umar radiallahu anhu. Yani means it belonged to him. It should be used only the way he decided. So it remained his. It is he who makes a decision how to use this land. In that sense, it's to his. So it can't be sold. It can't be inherited. Umar's family, radiallahu anhu, when he dies, can't inherit it. It can't be from what to be inherited. It cannot be given as a gift to anybody. It is for who? For the poor people, for Umar's relative, for the slaves, for the jihad fi sabilillah, for the wayfarer, the traveler, for the guests. It is for those groups, the relative, the poor people, the relative, the slaves, jihad fi sabilillah, the traveler, the guests. 6 categories from people. It is for them. Anyone from those, nobody can reject it to benefit from that land. None of this. Then he said, لا جناح على من وليها أن يأكل منها بالمعروف. There's no sin upon the one who administers it if he eats something from it in a reasonable manner. Umar radiallahu anhu, he will not live forever. He will he will pass away. He will die. And the land needs somebody to take care of it. Itself may not remain it. It will not be useful. Somebody has to cultivate it. Somebody has to take care of it. Somebody has to guard it. As for that, he has right to, and the one who administers it, the one who is responsible, he has right to eat from it, but bil ma'ruf, in a reasonable manner, in what he needs, not extravagance, not overusing it, not giving to his relative. And وَيُطْعِمَ صَدِيقًا, also he can give to his friend. This friend, he is not poor, he is not from the relative, he is not from those mentioned. This one who take care of the endowment has right to also give to his friend. غَيْرَ مُتَمَوِّلٍ, and he cannot store, this individual who take care of endowment, anything from this land. This is the conditions Umar made for that valuable land in Khaybar. And it used to be that way. In another wording for Bukhari, تصدق تصدق بأصلها. He gave the land as an endowment, as waqf. لا يباع ولا يوهب ولكن ينفق ثمره. It is that it can't be sold or gifted, but it is produced, can be, يعني must be spent, means as sadaqah. So this authentic hadith is aslun في الوقف, the endowment, that someone has right to make some of his wealth as endowment, and he has right to make a condition. This wealth I'm giving, this land I'm giving, this property I'm giving, this money I'm giving as waqf can only be used so and so and so and so. And whoever become in charge of it has to go by the conditions of the endowment. He cannot use it in unreasonable way. He cannot give it to somebody. He cannot sell it and the like. He has to abide to the rules of the one who spent his land, his property, his wealth into the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in this case, this sadaqah, this land, remain continuous charity for Umar radiallahu anhu as long people benefit from that land. The next hadith, Hadith Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, 787. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال بعث رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم عمر على الصدقة. الحديث وفيه فأما خالد فقد احتبس أدراعه وأعتاده في سبيل الله. فأما خالد فقد احتبس أدراعه وأعتاده في سبيل الله. متفق عليه. In the next hadith 787 narrated Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, Allah His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sent Umar to collect sadaqah, meaning the zakah. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sent Umar to collect the sadaqah, the zakah from the people. The narrator reported the hadith. Hadith, it was longer than this, but Imam Ibn Hajar, he took only from the portion he needs. And it contains, as for Khalid, he has kept back his coats of mail and weapons to use them to Allah's cause. As for Khalid, he has kept his coats of mail and weapons to use them in Allah's cause. Agree upon. Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, he sent Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu to collect the zakah from the people. Umar went, he collected except from 3, they rejected. A man called Ibn Jamil radiallahu anhu, Sahabi called Ibn Jamil. Some ulama, they say he was hypocrite, but he repented, and some they say no, he wasn't a hypocrite. Al-Muhim radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And also Al-Abbas, the uncle of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, also Khalid bin Walid radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Those 3, they didn't give sadaqah. They didn't give it to Umar, the zakah he asked. So Umar radiallahu anhu went back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he mentioned that those refused to give zakah. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned that as Abu Jamil, he did that after he was poor and Allah gave him subhanahu wa ta'ala this wealth, and he refused the sadaqah, the zakah. He was a poor person. Allah gave him subhanahu wa ta'ala a property. He became rich. He was supposed to give zakah. He's not giving it. This is that's the ruling of that. As for Al-Abbas, he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, it is on me and double of it. It is on me and double of it. The ulama, they have different interpretation why Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam took over the zakah of his uncle Abbas, who he loved him so much. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam loved Abbas so much. Na'am. And the Sahaba, they used to honor this. They used to know the status of Abbas. Therefore, one time, at the time of Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, there was no rain. And Umar, he gathered the Muslims. He said, we are making istisqa. We are asking Allah to give us rain. And then he said, Allahumma, this is Sahih al-Bukhari. اللهم إنا كنا نتوسل إليك بنبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم فتسقينا وإنا نتوسل إليك بعم نبيك صلى الله عليه وسلم. In another narration, outside Bukhari, قم يا عباس فادعو الله لنا. He said, oh Allah, we used to make tawassul by your prophet. We used to make tawassul, oh the Messenger of Allah, we used to make tawassul. Which means we used to get close to you through your prophet. And used to give us rain. And we are making tawassul to you through to the uncle of your prophet. Oh Allah, so Allah give us rain. This is Sahih al-Bukhari. In another wording outside Imam Bukhari, Umar said to Abbas, to the uncle of the Prophet, قُمْ يَا عَبَّاسِ فَادْعُ اللَّهَ لَنَا. Abbas, stand and make dua for us. Or Abbas, make dua supplicate for us. Ask Allah for us rain. It is authentic that Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu make the dua. He make istisqa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the rain right there. The rain come. Honor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the Muslims. No rain, droughts, no clouds, nothing. Then they make dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the rain. So Umar radiallahu anhu, he mentioned that he used to make tawassul. They used to make tawassul to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They used to take the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam as means to Allah. What does that mean? What does that mean? Yes. Ahsant, Abu Hammam. The Sahaba in the Prophet's lifetime, this narration from Umar, people they differ. Ahlul Sunnah and the Sufiya and the Shia one side, and Ahlul Sunnah they differ. Ahlul Sunnah are people who follow the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Their religion they take from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They don't take from majority. They don't take from the feelings. They don't take from anyone but from the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Everything they do, they say, where is the proof from the application, from the implementation, from the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But Ahlul Bid'ah, people of desires, they don't. When they want, they take from the Prophet ﷺ. When they want, they take from whoever they want. So they differ in this matter. What is the statement of Umar means? Oh Allah, we used to make tawassul. We used to seek connection to you through to the Prophet ﷺ. And we are now making connection to you through to the uncle of the Prophet. Ahlul Sunnah, they say, Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he mean, oh the Messenger of Allah, oh Allah, when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was alive, we used to ask him to make dua for us. To make dua for us, oh Allah, to give us rain. And oh Allah used to give us rain. And we are now asking, oh Allah, we make a tawassul through to the uncle of the Prophet sallallahu. So Allah give us rain. Abbas make dua for us. And Allah brought the rain. So Ahlul Sunnah, they say Umar make tawassul through to the dua of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Is this understandable? Is it very clear, right? Some Ahlul Bid'ah, they say no. Umar, he make tawassul, they used to make tawassul onto the status of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His status, his virtue, fadluhu wa jahuhu. Therefore, it is permissible today to ask Allah to give you rain through to the status of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Oh Allah, because of the greatness of your Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, give us rain. Oh Allah, because of the status of Sheikh Jailani or Sheikh Ahmed Tijani or so and so, give us rain. Is that very clear? This is the difference. Open your mind, you hear both, choose the one you believe to be the right thing. So, and the right thing is very clear. Sahaba, they used to make tawassul. They used to make tawassul to the Prophet ﷺ. Means they used to ask the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ to make dua for them in his lifetime. And from that, the famous incident. One day, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was giving Friday lecture. A man entered the masjid in the middle of the Friday lecture and screamed from there, "Oh, the Messenger of Allah, there's no rain, animal destroyed, people are suffering, ask Allah to make dua for us, to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us rain." Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he stopped the Friday lecture and he turned to istisqa, asking Allah rain. He raised his hand, making dua, and he, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, didn't stop the dua, asking rain until the rain come. And it was dropping from his lihya, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because the masjid used to be open, built on woods. The rain goes through water. Sahaba see the water coming from the, on the dropping from the lihya, beard of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And when the Salah, Jum'ah, then Prophet, he continued his Friday lecture. When the Friday lecture ends, finish, and people go out, they started escaping from the rain, running, taking their clothes up. Prophet, he looked at them, he laughed, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How human beings are weak. The beginning, they were complaining about lack of water, and now they are running from the water. And the rain continues until next Friday. And flooding water everywhere. You know, whole week rain is not easy, especially back days, the houses, even until now. So the same Sahabi or another one, he entered while Prophet ﷺ giving Friday lecture. "Oh, the Messenger of Allah, animals suffer, people suffer. He make Allah to stop the rain." He again, alayhi salatu wasalam, he raised his hands. This is where it is legislated, it is recommended to raise your hand when you're making istisqa, when you are asking Allah rain. Every time Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was making dua for rain, he used to raise his hands. We know some situations, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam wasn't raise his hands, even though he's making dua. Like right after 5 prayer, he never raised his hand to make dua, even though he used to make dua. Nor in the tahiyyat, at-tashahud, he never raised his hands. Nor after walad dhalin, after reciting Fatiha, he never raised his hands. Even though he make dua, he was not used to it. He used to make dua in the sujood. He never raised his hands. So there are occasions he used to make dua and he wasn't raise his hand. There were other occasions he used to make dua, always he used to raise his hands. Like istisqa, asking for Allah. The sunnah is where he used to raise his hand, raise your hand. Where he was not used to raise his hand, don't raise your hand. This is the following. There are other occasions it's open. The origin is to raise your hands. Now you want to make dua, any one of us make dua now, is to raise your hands. It's legislated. It's an open. But where he used to make dua and he was not used to raise his hand, don't raise your hand. Al-Muhim. So the man he entered, then again the Prophet, he raised his hand, make dua. The Sahabi, he says, Prophet he was saying, Allahumma hawalayna la alayna. Oh Allah, on other corner, on the corners, not on the top of us. So still the rain to continue around Medina, the city, so people can have rain, water coming, fresh water coming from the mountains, from far away to the city. Animal can drink, people can drink, but not destroying their houses or coming on the top of them. The Sahabi, he says, when Prophet ﷺ moved his hands, when he said, "Oh Allah, hawalain, oh Allah, our sides, not on us," he sees the clouds moving with the hand of Prophet ﷺ. Clouds following the hand of the Messenger ﷺ, moving with it. Allahu Akbar. Sahaba, they witness these things happen in front of them. Therefore, their iman was strong. And on the other hand, wal-iyadu billah, you have hypocrites. All that doesn't change. Rather, it makes them far. Subhanallah. Al-Muhim. So the Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, oh, the Messenger of Allah, we used to make tawassul through your messenger. You used to give us rain. We are making tawassul through your uncle. Oh, Allah, give us rain. Abbas, stand. Ask Allah for us rain. And rain used to come. So this is tawassul bi-du'a al-rajul al-salih. You make dua, you ask somebody you believe to be from the righteous, you ask him to make dua, it is permissible. Even though some ulama, they say this dua, it should be to benefit, to be for general benefit, not for you. The least to benefit the one making dua, because the origin is not recommended. It's not likely to beg, to ask people. So, to ask people, if you are saying to someone, make dua for me, and you really mean him to benefit, yes, it's permissible. Or the dua is general, make dua for the Muslims. Yes. It's also permissible to ask for your own self, but it's not encouraged, as Shaykh Uthaymeen mentioned, because of 7 reasons in his book, كتاب شرح القول المفيد في شرح كتاب التوحيد. The point is, here, Umar radiallahu anhu, he make tawassul through ماذا? The Sahaba used to make tawassul. So the one who want to use this, it's making tawassul on the Prophet's status, and then also after his life, and then also to everyone, to the awliya, to the saints, using this narration is not proof for him. Likewise, any other narration they come up with, you see them, they twisting it. Either it's not authentic narration, or they twisting the meaning. I hear with my own ears, Sufi Shaykh saying, نحن نتوصل بأهل القبور. We make tawassul through those who are in the grave. And sometimes what they mean is not even to ask Allah to give them what they want by the status of the people in the grave. That's innovation. But sometimes they don't mean that. They ask straight those in the grave. They pray to them. They ask them. I hear a Sufi Sheikh saying to, top of a grave, hundreds, Allahu A'lam, around him, saying, all your need in the entire year, collect it. Then when you visit the Sheikh, he hears you. Ask him, he will answer to you. Entire year. The need you have, whole year, collect it, he says. Wait until you visit the Sheikh. Subhanallah. Then ask the Sheikh. The Sheikh, he hears you, and he answers to you. Where you brought this from? Then they come up with whatever they come with. This is tawassul, wasila. So as for Abbas, the Messenger Sallam, I mentioned, that he said, Abbas's zakah is on me and double of it. As for Khalid, this is where the hadith mentioned here, فَقَدْ احْتَبَسَ أَدْرَاعَهُ وَأَعْتَادَهُ فِي سَبِيلِ. As for Khalid, he has kept back his coats of mail and weapons to use them in Allah's cause. The ulama, they differ with the meaning of this. They differ. They give different interpretations. Jumhur Ahl al-Ilmi, majority of scholars, they use this, the way they understand is that Khalid, that Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he asked Khalid to give the zakah of these coats, the coats to use for fight, and weapons to give zakah out of it. And Umar and the ulama, they say there is no zakah on these, on the coats, on the weapons, except if it is for sale. if it's for sale. عروض التجارة is being sold. So Umar, he didn't give it the zakah out of this because he already made an intention fi sabilillah for the jihad. This is for, it's not for him, it's endowment, it's waqf, to use it in the fight in the cause of Allah. Therefore, they use the Jamhur, this hadith, that as a proof for the zakah of urud tijara. For sell products, that there is zakah on it. What is the proof? They say this hadith. Because Khalid was asked to give the zakah of these, and there is no zakah on these except if it is for sale. So, therefore, the product which is for sale, there is zakah on it. Other ulama, they say no, the hadith, that's not the meaning of the hadith. They say the hadith of this means Umar, he asked the zakah or not of the coats and these weapons. He didn't ask Khalid zakah on this mentioned in the hadith. Rather, he asked zakah on his other property, his land, that there is zakah due on it. And Khalid refused it because the zakah, he paid the zakah and he spent to these coats and weapons fi sabilillah. So he already paid the zakah. Like now there is zakah due on you. Let us say $1,000. And this $1,000, you give it to a poor, or you spend to one of those categories that Allah mentions, subhanahu wa ta'ala, fi sabilillah, jihad. You know, the zakah is for 8 categories. Allah mentioned in Surah Tawbah. From them is fi sabilillah, to prepare the arm. So now, the zakah from your own money, $1,000, you buy whatever you buy, the army needs, and someone comes to you and he asks you the zakah of your money. Are you going to give him? No. Why? Because already paid. Those ulama, some ulama, they say this is what it means. Therefore, the hadith is not proof for urud tijara. And this is one of the main hadith, the Jumhur, they use it. Or the hadith means Khalid, how is he rejecting Prophet ﷺ defending Khalid, saying how Khalid is refusing to give zakah, which is very small amount of money, while he pay all this into the cause of Allah. Somebody giving a lot of money as a normal sadaqah, optional sadaqah. He is not giving the zakah, which is a small amount of money, which is a mandatory on him from one of the pillars of Islam. That's not possible. You have a $1,000. The zakah, how much is on it? If there is zakah on it, $1,000, $25. Okay. Is it normal for a wise person, as Zahir, Ibn Hazm Zahir says, رجل ذو عقل ودين ذو عقل. So you have $1,000, 25 is zakah. Somebody come to you, say, bring it the zakah. You say, no, I'm not giving it. And then a poor person come and you give it you give him $800. Does that make sense? La. You give him 800, you are not giving 25, which is a pillar of Islam. So the hadith means, Khalid, how is he rejecting zakah while he pay all this into the cause of Allah, which is an optional? So Prophet ﷺ, he defending Khalid. Al-Muhim, but the way here it's used, what relate to this topic is that Khalid, he make endowment, he make waqf for these coats and mada and weapons. This is the point in this chapter. So it's a proof for the waqf, to make something for fi sabilillah. But that's the hadith. Is the hadith proof for the urud tijara, or no. مسألة عروض التجارة مسألة عظيمة. هذا والله أعلم، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين.